Sanchez of Coheed and Cambria. Here we are with the guitar boat, the guitar vault, primarily made up of Explorers and the guitar that I created called the Jackhammer. Got a double neck here and an acoustic, a Taylor 814E, which is actually kind of new to the rig. The new electronics in them are great. Like, it just sounds very natural. The electronics in acoustics can sound very like Tampa, Florida beach bar, if that makes any sense. And this really projects a lot of the body of the guitar. So I'm really happy with that guy. And it gets featured in the set on this run on a song called Corner My Confidence. All these guitars are very special to me. This is actually the first Explorer I ever bought. At the time, it was fashioned with EMGs, and Coheed, when we were in the van in those days, I used to play an SG, which is not here. I still have that SG, but it had broke on that tour, and at the time I was so green, I didn't know you could replace or fix headstocks, so it just kind of got lost in time, and eventually I realized that that's something you can do, and we got it fixed. But anyway, this Explorer, when I had to replace that guitar, it was white on white, and it just immediately I thought, oh wow, it's very Hendrix meets James Hetfield, and they're two of my favorites. So I was like, it made sense for me to get that. And it kind of led me down the path of Explorers, where I then found this guy, which was my second Explorer at Mike's Music in Cincinnati. It was behind a big Ampeg cabinet, like just getting smashed. And I had never seen an Explorer like that. It's called an E2. It's from like the 80s, 70s, 80s. At the time, it was fashioned with a different, what is this called? A bridge? What is that? A stop bar? Yeah? Real professional here at Coheed and Cambria. This has sort of become my main. I've never seen anything with these like contours, and I just love this guitar. It's become my partner. So much so, I love this guitar that my wife and guitar tech and friend Kevin Allen got me this one when we were in Nashville. They found it. I mean, these guys are so pretty. Out of my love for Explorers and SGs came my desire to construct my own sort of situation and tribute those makes in the Jackhammer. So this is, so I started my own imprint called Evil Instruments, and this is the Jackhammer. So it kind of has that E2 sort of look to it, an SG / Explorer horn. I like this part a lot. This is just something I kind of put together I collaged together on a flight to Florida, and I sent to Kevin, and Kevin did the first prototype. We used it a bunch on the tour at that time, and I liked it so much that we then partnered with Dunnable Guitars and to use their infrastructure to really make it happen. And then a few of these others are all prototypes. And of course, the double neck. Ever since Good Apollo came out, the first one, I've been playing that. The guitars that we're actually making with Evil Instruments are the walnut, the white finish, and a black. And we're sort of customizing the black slowly. We're kind of doing a fill in it sort of homage with, we're gonna change out this pick guard and turn it into like a gold mirror.
I'm Zach. I play bass in Coheed and Cambria. My main bass on this tour, this custom Yamaha BBP 34. I had them build it for me without a bridge pickup, single volume knob, quarter-pounder pickups, all hip shot hardware, and a hip shot bass extender, so I can get to drop D and out of drop D really quickly and easily. So I put that on pretty much all my basses. I've got a white one. This one was stock, but we put quarter-pounders in, took out the extra volume in the tone, and just wired up one volume knob. So both pickups are just wired to the volume knob. Honorable mention, another bass I'm not using on this tour, but a bass that I absolutely love, skate bass. So this was actually built by Claudio's guitar tech, Kevin, and it's built out of used skateboards. When we do the acoustic early entry, I have this Ibanez acoustic bass. It's a SGB E110 ATN. The pedalboard on this tour that I've been using, it's a TU3. So I've got a tuner into a Death by Audio bass war, and then out of that into a back burner Big Booty Judy. It's like a Rat style with a blend knob. I have it set to like a turbo rat sound, so it's got this kind of like really nice saturated, thick distortion that I'll use sometimes for like entire songs. And then out of that into a 3-leaf audio, the Tim LaFave octave pedal that they make. And then out of the octave, I have a Line 6 DL4. We've got a setup over there that runs the pedal board with the wireless system, so that all runs through these like radial boxes. The last thing are the amps that I'm using. So I have two over on stage left in the rack where Claudio's Axe Effects are. That's where my wireless rig is. And then I've also got in the bottom, there's two Aguilar DB751 heads. One of them is the one that's being used and the other is a backup, so if anything goes wrong with the first head, we can quickly switch to the second one. I've also got two DB810 cabinets on stage bookending the cabinets here. So the 810 on stage left, the one that's behind me, is the cabinet that the head is powering. The one on stage right over here, closer to Travis, is actually a backup. So if anything goes wrong, again, we've got something that we can run to. I don't do anything crazy with the EQ. The EQ is basically flat, and the volume is really low because that amp is so powerful.
Howdy folks, Josh Eppard here from Coheed and Cambria, talking about the gear. Any drummer will tell you it's a plethora of stuff that you gotta get. I'm lucky enough to be with TAMA, Evans, ProMark, Zildjian. When I was a kid, I had all these Zildjian cymbals that my Uncle Charlie gave me, but they were old. And I always dreamed of a day I'd be with Zildjian, so it's like very exciting to me. I will say about the TAMA kit, we use the Star Classic, but we have a bunch of TAMA kits. In terms of snare drums, we use a lot of different snare drums here. We got this really neat one with the Keyworks on it. As far as the cymbals go, people always ask me why I tilt them. I give a lot of funny answers, but the actual answer is you can sneak it in a little bit closer to you if you tilt it back. It does chew up sticks, but I play on the rims and break so many sticks as it is anyway, it doesn't matter.
So we do a lot of cool things on his kit to keep it in place. We've got some weights on the snare drum and the floor tom legs and on the cymbals.
Which is wildly important. Any drummer will tell you the snare drum moves as much as the kick drum if you're really laying into it. So we have weights around the bottom of the snare, game changer.
Yeah, it's like a Kevlar woven snare drum head, so he doesn't break it, because he will break it if you use any other snare drum head.
That is true.
Blaster snare wires to get a little more volume out of it. Thicker bottom snare head. We also use a wood beater to get lots of attack. It's got a good weight to it.
Cymbal size-wise, we usually go 20 and 20. We've known to do 20 and 19. But since I play uniquely, we have our ride over here. I play open-handed, but it's a lot of crashing. So as far as the Zildjian, we like the A Custom over here. And then yeah, A Custom over here, another 20-inch, but this one's a crash. They both get crashed on. And as you can see, it's a little busier over here. China over here. We got the 18-inch. Little splash. The ice bell is kind of new. Very grateful and thankful to all our sponsors. I sing the praises of TAMA and Zildjian, ProMark, Evans as much as I possibly can.
I'm gonna start out with this here guitar, which is a Black Beauty custom that I actually had made probably 2010. I had them create this custom Black Beauty because I always wanted one. A good friend of ours that's very part of the Coheed history, who we were in bands with when we were younger, his father, Gary Hohenberger, had a Black Beauty, and it was like that forbidden fruit you couldn't go near. Like when we were kids, like we'd have band practice and I would be like, can we just open the case and look at it? And I always wanted one. But what that led to is working with Gibson on this guitar. They were like, we'll give you an artist price on it. We'll create it for you, because you've been so loyal. We'll offer to throw in another guitar if you choose it. And I chose this gold top, which at the time it was the traditional gold top. It became my go-to guitar. I've used this on pretty much every record since I got it in 2010. And I saw this, and I absolutely fell in love with the guitar, and then I plugged it in, and the love grew deeper. And so now, between this and the gold top are my primary go-tos. This is what I use to play all my songs in D when we play live. This Victory, which yet again, another Gibson, I had sent out on this tour to try it actually. It's hilarious, we're doing a cover of Danzig Mother, and I wanted to get up to the 24th fret for that last. This here Telecaster, because I've been using this for a song called Blindside Sunny in the set, and they sent out a Mojo pickup, and it's definitely given me the sound that I want out of this Telecaster. And then I have this for early entry and for acoustic stuff in general, I got this brand new beautiful Taylor. This is the best sounding plugged in acoustic that I've played ever.